Hey, I'm Elektron, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really nice rap beat here that I made. And I'm going to make the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to teach you certain little tricks I did to make this sound as big as it does. And also there's cool little things in here that I think would be cool to teach you guys how to do. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to play it through, and then I'll explain how I made some things in here. I'm not going to explain every single thing, but definitely the things I think is important. So let's play it through and I'll get to the tutorial. Cool. So you guys get the point. I mean, it doesn't it's kind of the same idea all the way through. But yeah, it's just like a little rap slash hip hop slash trap, I guess. Not really festival trap, but I could imagine somebody rapping on this and it sounded pretty fucking dope. But yeah, the point of this, where I went with it, the reason I made it was for an intro. I want a cool intro for my videos. I think that would be pretty cool to have. So I went and made this, and the part that I really want to have on my intro is this one. And this thing here is actually self-made. I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm definitely going to zero in on the leads because I think the leads are pretty cool. And they're all Logic instruments as well. I think there's one layer of synthesizer, and then I'm definitely going to get to the bass. Sounds like this. Alright, so let's do that. And yeah, quick shout out to everybody who's been scheduling lessons. You're all amazing. Meeting all of you is just the coolest thing. I've met the coolest people in the world doing those lessons. So if you're interested in lessons, just shoot me an email and we can talk about setting up a date and time. So these leads, let's break these leads down. There's a couple layers to these leads and a cool little delay on it to make them real echoey and totally rhythmic. I think the delay definitely helped with rhythm with these leads. So my first layer is actually the acoustic guitar harmonics preset right in Logic. Actually, I noticed that you could pull off really what I would think is lower quality sounding instruments in rap beats like this because they sound different when you layer them. And then you can add things like delay and reverb, and just everything gets really awesome sounding. So this completely dry sounds like this. I don't know if it might not be completely dry, but it sounds like this. So that's what it originally sounded like, and then I went ahead, added delay. And then some reverb like that. So that's what I ended up getting for that. And that was the first thing that I added. I didn't even plan on adding layers, but it did sound a little empty. So then the next thing I did was I got the other acoustic guitar preset over here in the library, and it sounds like this. And I added in some tracked notes, as you could see, and that just helps with making it sound like it's not the easiest lead in the world to just write down. I like having a confusing sounding lead, more abstract, and so together they sound like this. And that sounded pretty cool by itself. But then to just spice it up, I added one more layer of synth leads, again with extra notes here and there. So all together. And without the delay and reverb. Sounds really cool. And then originally I had this up. That could be a cool thing to do in the drop, maybe get rid of the high cut. So that was the leads, and I thought they were really fun leads to mess around with. You definitely make a lot of variations with these leads and this layering. So get this synth layer with 2 guitar layers and just, you know, pluck everywhere. Throw some plucks everywhere, you know. Doesn't have to be like the craziest pattern in the world, and then you get something cool like that. I think it's pretty abstract too. So the next thing I want to explain is how I did this actually down here, because this is the first time I ever did this, and I thought it sounded so sick. Like you could use this in any genre. So let's see what I used to actually make that sound. So it kind of sounds like somebody's voice, and that's true, it is somebody's voice. But it's actually a crowd of people talking. And you don't like hear any specific words that they're saying. The idea is it just sounds like a crowd of people, and they sound like this. And so I figured if I just chopped it and put a delay on, like a ping pong delay on, and had the wet on 100%, so 100% engaged delay. That means no dry, just 100% wet. So if you see here, when I run the marker over it, it doesn't actually play what's there. It'll play it right here. And that was like the trick with the delay that I did. And if you watch this, I had automated the EQ here to kind of make it like that opening up, about to drop sound. And yeah, I think that's a pretty cool sound there. And all I did was I took the same little chop of the beginning of it and then, you know, repeated it here. And so I'll show you the settings on the delay. This would be like a normal sound without the delay, or with a little bit, I guess. See, it's kind of like boring, so I put the delay all the way on. I was able to get that really, really cool sound, and the speed is at 1/4. So could you do this with Logic's delay? I don't think so, actually. The reason is because I don't think Logic's delay goes that slow, 1/4. Of course, you could, hold on really quick, I want to see if we could, oh yeah, you could go to 1/4. So yeah, you could use Logic's delay to do that same exact trick. But yeah, I went ahead and used H delay from Waves because it just was a plugin I always have my eyes on, and it's fun to use. I think it's a really nice sounding plugin. So that's how I made that cool little build up. And don't forget the automation. You could use a filter to open that up. I just like filtering with an EQ because I'm used to doing that. And I had a little volume cut here as well. So like a low cut, a high cut, and a volume are all automated. Very cool. So that's how to do that. I think that was really something I've been itching to show you guys because it's just so fucking awesome. So let's go into the 808, how I made the 808. So let's go in here, write a note. I don't know why I just did that. What note are we on? We're right below 0. Okay, we're at the right note. Okay, so this type of 808, hands down my favorite sound in the world. This 808, I would say, is a little different than 808s that I usually hear. 808s I usually hear is like a sine, made with a sine wave or a triangle with a little bit of distortion on it. But I like to go with pulse waves for 808s. Here's why. Because 808s or pulse waves give you a full spectrum of frequencies to work with before you edit the sound. So it gives you like everything and more you need to make a nice bass line, whereas sine wave is just pure sub bass. So you're stuck trying to add higher harmonics to it, and I think those higher harmonics are that give it that grittiness and that power. So if this was a sine wave, it would be this quiet. Can't even hear it. It's there, but you can't even hear it. So I like to go with the pulse waves because you can hear it breathing like lion, dude. I don't even know what that means, but you know, it's crazy. I love it. And so here you notice it bends down here. And the way I did that is just simply by taking the 808, bouncing it in place, and then we get like, you know, we get the note in audio file format, and then I go here to the fade tool. I do this, fade it over, hold command and fade it over like this. Now it's not going to bend down though yet, so watch what happens. Whoops. It just stops. Whoops, that was a little loud. It just kind of fades out, but we need it to slow down like that. And so the longer your 808, the nicer the sound gets, and then you can edit the shape of this. Whoops, sorry about that. You get like a nice bend down like that, and so this was how mine looked. The whole 808 goes this long and then it starts bending down here. And so that's how I got that cool 808 sound. So that is everything I wanted to explain as far as this beat went. I thought they were the most important elements that I explained. So if you were able to take something of value from this video, go ahead, subscribe, leave a thumbs up and a comment. I would really appreciate that. My name's Alex Rome, and stay tuned for some more awesome stuff.